Hello, my name is Barbara Elvira Hokkanen, and this is Angel Talks. And I want to start reading right away. We were out yesterday, of weed that is. This is where I left off the other day, the last segment. Breeze brought a bit for me early this morning, and I slept all day till 7ish p.m., in time to see the Sens start playing the Devils and then the Leafs game. The Lakers and the Clippers were to play, but the game is postponed due to deep grief over the Lakers organization's loss of Kobe Bryant. Dom said to me, "How far up your ass is your head, lady love?" He's called me Wicked Witch of the East Hill. And then he said, "You decide on a teeter of a totter. Do I want to be a Tweety or a fucking wicked bitch?" I just watched a movie called Bleed for This, the against all odds story of boxer champion Vinny Pazienza. Of course, the Against All Odds song by Phil Collins. Katie Seagal was in the movie of Vinny Pazienza. In the movie, she was Vinny's mother. She wore a blonde wig in the movie. 4:55 a.m., Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. I'm in my bedroom, sitting on the side edge of the bed, writing on the bolster with a pillow on top. Don't go for second best, baby. Put your love to the test. You know, you got to. That Madonna song has been going through my mind. You could say bipolar feelings of grandeur, but I really believe I will attain, in God's will, worldwide fame and fortune that will last for generations. Empire, really. Long in the tooth for success? What difference does age make? It's timing, all God's timing. And God has God's timing. Godspeed. As they say, as I say, this is my quote, as I say, life is a race, sprint or marathon, human race. I remember the start of the first adult journal I started more than 25 years ago. I was in my kitchen at 691 Annette Street, feeling strong and with something to say. So I wrote it, and I have written many, many journals. The whereabouts are completely a question that I have. They are either in a complete collection, courtesy of Phil Collins, or they are scattered, pilfered, who knows where my ardent, strong, and truthful words are. All of them clear thoughts, although sometimes miswritten if I were to read back all my journals. Every time I reread a journal, I remember writing the words. Just one of those things, never out of my mind and sensibilities, except when Cameron spiked my ice cream with 2 Zans and I was out for a couple of days. I have to write this. Apparently, when Kobe Bryant first was playing basketball, he was a cocky player. I would love to read his story. I'm sure there will be a movie made about his life. I would very much like to know the names of the other 7 people that were in the helicopter. Details of the situation. I'd love to find out. But first, Wayne Gretzky sent a message to the internet to Kobe's family. All I remember is it ended with Janet and I. Or it started with Janet and I. That's all I remember. Oh, time for a bong. I have a Toronto Maple Leafs black coffee mug, white maple leaves. The leaf with our team name is on either side of the black mug. It's the old style maple leaf, not the modern one. The Leafs should be green and red, not blue and white. I want to own the Toronto Maple Leafs and be the coach. Long time. The pause that refreshes my mind. Oh, my dear God, letter to you. I adore you, God. I live for you. All my words, I'm talking to you, God. I recognized you, God, when you came to me in the dream as a child. I wasn't surprised. I had always known you. Love, Betos. I remember people from my babyhood, things I did as a child, drawing. If only I could have still had the books of drawings that I did from my youth and young childhood. I was drawing a lot, always fashions. I was inspired by the Archie comics. Betty and Veronica had such great outfits. And I had a large cardboard young lady who had fashions that you laid on top of her and folded the tabs around the back. I remember from my very early from my very early childhood, I played with her for hours, and Etch-a-Sketch, I'd spend hours, and coloring books, and looking at the Sears catalogs. I'd be excited for the new Archie comics when they came out. I'd be super excited to see the Sears catalog, especially the Christmas catalog, when they came in the mail. I saw the girls in the pages and thought they all looked so pretty. I was never turned on by the girls in the clothes or bra or panties, never once. I loved looking at the male models. I never once thought, oh hey, I'm pretty, I'll be a fashion model. I wasn't pretty like that, although I thought I had tree stump legs. I went really with my personality and my beautiful body. I had a beautiful body growing up, and I had long to the top of my shoulders light auburn hair, but I had crooked teeth and fangs. I'd never give a big toothy smile. My sister, who was a tomboy at young childhood, super sporty with gymnastics, grew her white blonde hair long, and she became a real beauty. And my brother was handsome too with blonde hair. My sister said my teeth looked like the yield signs. I said my sister Avery should go into modeling. She had the long, lean body type of a model, the ideal model back then. She was into swimming competitively in school in her teens, and in high school, where we both attended at the same time, West Toronto Secondary School, Avery was named Athlete of the Year one year. I saw her compete once. I was not really interested in my sister. We have only been close when we were little kids. I need Vaseline for my lips. They are dry. But the best way to keep my lips happy is to wear long-wearing lipstick. Bong time. When I become rich and famous, I will always remain loving, devoted to God, my Maker. Loving and always kind. I pray to God always. I only prayed once to something else, a Viking lamp. I blew pot at the Viking lamp, praying for Glenn Anderson, number 9 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, to call me and come to me. Glenn Anderson used to play with Wayne Gretzky in Edmonton for the Oilers. I was in puppy love with Glenn. I was crushed when I found out he had also fucked a fellow stripper from the House of Lancaster. That's where I met Glenn in the first place. We were together at my place a couple of times, and once at his place. There were rumors that he was gay, and also Wendell Clark. Glenn said that a fireman lived in the basement of his rented house. I never saw him. Glenn and I had sauna in my basement and great sex. He had a big hard dick, like the hard branch of a tree. That was at 619 Annette Street, Toronto, the house that Stripping built. Bong time. I forgot to mention I have been playing with my fingernails almost constantly for a few days now, especially my right hand pointer finger. It feels so good. Any nails feel really, really good rubbed together. The slightly rougher, the more pleasurable. I just a short while ago scotch taped my fingernail around the finger to prevent me from playing with it. My fingernails usually cause the nail to cause a fog between the fingernail and the covering area of the tape. It's not called scotch tape, but that's who started it. I've been saying it's bong time a couple of times and I still haven't gotten one. The fog is on my fingernail already only a few short minutes after putting the tape on. The day Kobe died, my hands were sweating profusely. P.S. Dom got his headphones back from the tattoo guy's roommate. They were in her car. She first said she didn't find them. The headphones are back. The high from the tobe is great, and the weed too. But when we had no weed, I was smoking tobacco bongs. We've watched so many fights, and I've watched Dominic train. He's fast and light on his feet. The question is stamina, but the killer instinct is in him. Use whatever means to take McGregor down, kill him in the octagon, that's it. As I know he can do it, I've called his hands the fists of fury. LeBron James wears number 23 with the Lakers. That has been his number, and I think all the way along. Someone's up belching and ripping a bong. The door to the bedroom is off the hinges. It is propped up against the door frame, covering the door hole. Bong time. Sip of water first. I've been off Diet Pepsi for a few days now, seeing the beautiful framed photo of Dominic and Cameron and me on the vanity table, the photo from maybe 10 Christmases ago. I'm wearing my special Christmas sweater, which I wore, of course, again this past Christmas. And seeing Dom and Cameron shorter than me and looking so great in their Canada jerseys from me makes my heart skip beats in love, like only my sons can make my heart skip a beat. And of course, God can make my heart stop beating if he wants. I think anyway. No one knows anything about how we are made and who or what controls and has created us. And none of us, know the future actually. But all of us can predict the future to some degree. Time for sleep, 6:48 a.m. My pubic hair, I trimmed it with scissors. My hair from my brush. Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. I'm going to close it for now on that note. Smoke a bong. After the spa treatment of trimming my hair. After the spa treatment of trimming my hair. Spa treatment of trimming my hair. Here's to everybody, everywhere. God bless you all. Our Maker bless everything everywhere. And so do I.